Did you know there is a garden with 150 million flowers blooming right in the middle of a desert? Today we are traveling across the globe to discover the 10 largest and most beautiful gardens in the world. From royal French palaces to giant floral airplanes, these places look like they belong in a fairy tale. Make sure to watch until number 1 to see the world's largest flower garden. It will absolutely blow your mind. Let's go! Starting off our list at number 10, we are traveling to the romantic country of Italy, right on the beautiful shores of Lake Maggiore. Welcome to Giardini Botanici Villa Taranto. This is not just a garden, it is a lifetime of passion. Back in 1931, a Scottish captain named Neil McEachern bought this land. His dream was to create one of the most beautiful botanical gardens in the whole world, and looking at it today, it is safe to say that he succeeded. The garden is huge, covering around 16 hectares. As you walk through the winding paths, you will see more than 20,000 different plant species from all over the planet. What keeps visitors walking for hours here is the amazing variety. You have terraced gardens with waterfalls, deep green valleys, and bright fields of flowers that change colors with every single season. One of the most exciting things to see here is the water garden. If you visit during the summer, you will see the giant Amazonian water lilies. Their leaves are so big and strong that they look like giant green floating plates. There is also a beautiful labyrinth made entirely of dahlias, where over 1,700 plants bloom in late summer. If you want a peaceful escape mixed with beautiful Italian architecture and rare plants, Villa Taranto is the perfect starting point for our journey. But trust me, the gardens are only going to get bigger and crazier from here. For number 9, we are leaving Europe and flying all the way to Asia. Imagine a bustling, modern city with skyscrapers everywhere. Now imagine a massive, wild, and completely green jungle sitting right in the middle of it. That is the Singapore Botanic Gardens. This garden is so important and so historical that it is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is over 160 years old. Even though it is located in a hot tropical climate, millions of people visit every year just to walk through its beautiful green spaces. The absolute star of the show here is the National Orchid Garden. If you love flowers, this place will blow your mind. It is home to the largest display of orchids in the world, with over 1,000 pure species and 2,000 hybrids. They have a special VIP orchid garden where new, beautiful hybrid flowers are named after famous world leaders and celebrities who visit the country. But there is so much more than just orchids. You can explore the Evolution Garden, which takes you on a journey through time to see how plants evolved on Earth over millions of years. You can also relax by Swan Lake, where real, elegant white swans swim gracefully in the water. Because of the warm tropical weather, this garden is incredibly green and alive 365 days a year. It proves that even in the busiest modern cities, nature can still grow beautifully. At number 8, we have a garden that is literally a living work of art. Welcome to Claude Monet's garden in Giverny, France. If you have ever seen a painting of beautiful water lilies or a green Japanese bridge, there is a very high chance it was painted by the famous French artist Claude Monet. But what many people do not know is that Monet did not just paint this garden, he actually built it himself. Monet lived here for 43 years. He was obsessed with colors, light, and nature. He designed his garden the same way he would paint a canvas. He planted flowers not just for how they looked, but for how their colors would blend together when the sun shined on them. The property is divided into two main parts. First, there is the Clos Normand, which is a flower garden full of thousands of tulips, irises, daisies, and poppies. It is wild, colorful, and feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Second, there is the famous Japanese water garden. This is where you will find the iconic weeping willow trees, the green bridge, and of course, the famous water lilies floating quietly on the pond. Walking through this garden feels like you have jumped inside a famous painting. It is an incredibly emotional experience for art lovers and nature lovers alike. Even though it is smaller than some of the giant gardens on this list, its magical atmosphere makes it completely unforgettable. Moving on to number 7, we are heading to North America to visit the stunning Butchart Gardens in British Columbia, Canada. The story behind this garden is one of the most inspiring things you will ever hear. Over 100 years ago, this land was a giant, ugly limestone quarry. It was empty, gray, and destroyed by mining. But a woman named Jenny Butchart had a crazy vision. When the mining stopped, she decided to bring in tons of rich soil by horse and cart, completely transforming the massive rocky hole into a spectacular sunken garden. Today, that same quarry is a paradise that attracts over 1 million visitors every single year. The scale of this place is huge, covering 55 acres. As you walk through, you will discover different themed areas. There is a deeply peaceful Japanese garden with quiet streams, a perfectly symmetrical Italian garden, and a beautiful rose garden that smells like absolute heaven in the summer. They employ dozens of full-time gardeners who plant millions of bedding plants to ensure that there is always something colorful blooming from March all the way to October. And if you visit during the summer or the Christmas season, you are in for a huge treat. The gardens are illuminated at night with thousands of colorful lights, and they even host massive fireworks shows. It is proof that even a destroyed piece of land can be healed and turned into a masterpiece. For number 6, we are going to a place that is often called the Garden of Europe. If you love tulips, you are going to absolutely love Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands. Now, Keukenhof is very unique compared to the other gardens on our list. Why? Because it is only open for about 8 weeks every year during the spring season. But during those short 8 weeks, it becomes one of the most photographed places on the entire planet. Imagine walking into a park where more than 7 million flower bulbs are planted by hand every single year. Yes, you heard that right, 7 million! The colors are so bright and intense that they almost look fake. You will see endless rivers of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths stretching as far as the eye can see. The smell in the air is simply intoxicating. The garden covers 32 hectares, and there are over 15 kilometers of walking trails. Every year, the garden has a completely different theme, meaning no 2 spring seasons ever look exactly the same. Besides the flowers, you can take a quiet boat ride through the flower fields, visit historic Dutch windmills, and enjoy traditional food. It is a massive celebration of spring, color, and life. If you ever want to experience what true happiness looks like in the form of nature, you have to visit Keukenhof. We are halfway through our list! At number 5, we are traveling to London, England to explore the Royal Botanic Gardens, better known as Kew Gardens. This is not just a pretty place to take a walk, it is one of the most important scientific institutions on Earth. Kew Gardens has the largest and most diverse botanical and mycological collections in the world. We are talking about tens of thousands of living plants. Kew Gardens covers a massive 300 acres, so you could easily spend a whole week here and still not see everything. One of the most famous sites is the Palm House. It is a gigantic, beautiful glass house built during the Victorian era. When you step inside, you leave the cold English weather behind and enter a steamy, hot rainforest filled with huge palm trees and tropical plants from the most remote jungles on Earth. They also have the Temperate House, which is the largest surviving Victorian glasshouse in the world. It holds some of the rarest and most threatened plants on the planet. Some of the plants here are literally extinct in the wild. If you want a thrill, you can climb up to the treetop walkway. This amazing bridge takes you 18 meters high into the air, allowing you to walk directly through the branches of giant trees. It gives you a bird's-eye view of the stunning landscape below. Kew Gardens is a giant, beautiful living library that protects the future of nature. At number 4, things get a little bit wild, very huge, and incredibly fun. Let's travel to Pattaya, Thailand to visit the Nong Nooch Tropical Garden. This place is massive, spreading across 500 acres of rolling hills and valleys. Originally, in 1954, the owners bought this land to turn it into a fruit farm. But after traveling around the world and seeing beautiful flowers, they changed their minds and decided to create a tropical wonderland instead. What makes Nong Nooch so special is how surprising it is. You can be walking through a highly detailed 17th century French garden that looks exactly like Europe, and then, a few minutes later, you are standing in front of a giant replica of Stonehenge. But the most famous and shocking part of this garden is Dinosaur Valley. Hidden among the beautiful tropical palm trees and rare cycad plants are hundreds of life-sized, incredibly detailed statues of dinosaurs. It is an amazing mix of Jurassic Park and high-class botanical beauty. Kids absolutely love it, and to be honest, adults do too. The garden is also famous for its award-winning orchid nurseries and its incredible collection of palm trees from all over the globe. With traditional Thai cultural shows, beautiful lakes, and amazing topiary, which is the art of cutting trees into animal shapes, Nong Nooch is an unforgettable, action-packed garden adventure. Welcome to the top 3. We are heading back to France, but this time, we are doing it with absolute royal luxury. At number 3, we have the legendary Gardens of Versailles. When King Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, decided to build his palace, he wanted a garden that would show the entire world his supreme power. He hired the famous landscape architect André Le Nôtre, and together, they created a masterpiece that changed history. To say this garden is large is a massive understatement. It covers nearly 2,000 acres. It is so big that you can rent a golf cart or a bicycle just to get around it. The design is all about control and symmetry. Every single tree, bush, and flower is planted in perfect, straight, mathematical lines. The highlights of Versailles are definitely the water features. There are hundreds of golden statues and massive fountains. During the summer weekends, you can watch the musical fountains show, where the water jets dance in perfect time to classical music, exactly as they did for the king hundreds of years ago. You will also find the Grand Canal, a massive cross-shaped body of water so big that the king used to host real boat parties on it. And do not forget the Orangerie, a beautiful sunken garden that holds over 1,000 citrus trees during the winter to keep them warm. The Gardens of Versailles are not just about nature. They are a symbol of power, wealth, and pure human ambition. You will feel like royalty just walking through the gates. Just missing the number 1 spot, coming in at number 2, we have the ultimate American masterpiece, Longwood Gardens, located in the state of Pennsylvania. Covering over 1,077 acres, Longwood is a place of endless beauty. It was created by Pierre S. DuPont, a very wealthy businessman who loved engineering, architecture, and nature. He bought the land in 1906 just to save a collection of historic trees from being cut down for lumber. From there, he transformed it into one of the premier botanical gardens in the world. What makes Longwood truly spectacular is its mix of indoor and outdoor spaces. The main conservatory is an absolute jaw-dropper. It is a massive glass building stretching for half a mile. Inside, you will walk through rooms dripping with exotic flowers, a silver garden, an orchid house, and even a jungle room with a waterfall. But the real magic happens outside at the main fountain garden. After a huge $90 million renovation, these fountains are an engineering marvel. They feature over 1,700 water jets that can shoot water up to 175 feet in the air. In the evenings, they put on spectacular illuminated fountain shows set to music. It feels like watching fireworks, but made entirely of water and light. Longwood constantly changes its displays. You might visit during the massive Chrysanthemum Festival in autumn, or during winter when they put up 500,000 Christmas lights. It is a garden that perfectly blends high-tech engineering with world-class horticulture. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for. Number 1. The largest, most unbelievable natural display on the planet. Get ready to have your mind blown, because we are traveling to the Middle East to visit the Dubai Miracle Garden. Why is this number 1? Because this place shouldn't even exist. Imagine the hottest, driest, most empty desert you can think of. Now, imagine planting 150 million blooming flowers right in the middle of it. The Dubai Miracle Garden is officially the world's largest natural flower garden. It spans 72,000 square meters and is filled with the most insane floral sculptures you will ever see. Everywhere you look, there is something that breaks a Guinness World Record. The most famous attraction is a life-size replica of an Emirates Airbus A380 airplane. It is entirely covered in over 500,000 fresh flowers and plants. When the flowers bloom, the plane looks like it is flying through a sea of color. It is the largest floral structure in the world, but that is not all. You can walk through the famous Hearts Passage, which is a long tunnel made of massive heart-shaped floral arches, a perfect spot for a romantic photo. You will find massive teddy bears made of plants, a floating lady with a dress made of red and white petunias, gigantic floral castles, and even an entire Smurfs village covered in blooms. Because the summer heat in Dubai is too extreme, this garden is a seasonal miracle. It only opens during the cooler winter months, from October to April. Every single year, the designers change the layout and the statues, so every time you visit, it is a completely brand new experience. The fact that humans managed to create an ocean of 150 million colorful, fresh, sweet-smelling flowers in the middle of the Arabian desert makes the Dubai Miracle Garden our absolute #1 pick. It truly lives up to its name. It is a real-life miracle. Nature really is the greatest artist, but when humans help shape it, we get to experience places like these. Now, I want to hear from you. If you could snap your fingers and instantly travel to just one of the gardens on this list, which one would you choose? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this colorful journey, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our next amazing adventure around the world. Thank you so much for watching. Keep exploring, and I will see you in the next video.